nothing in my brain. That's what people say.
People do make a lot of comments to me. I have a coworker whose wife had a baby a couple years ago, which obviously you don't see it on him every day, but certainly the amount of personal comments that I get and questions about, you know, how that's going to affect my career came up a lot more with me than it did with him. And my husband's a lawyer. He doesn't get the same kind of questions that I get. You know, are you coming back to work? Are you going to stay home? You know, are you going to need to leave early today? It's like very personal, and it's something about your body that you can't control. And when people make observations, it can be hard not to feel like they're very unwelcome, or it can make you feel uncomfortable, or it makes me feel uncomfortable sometimes, because I think of all the things that I'm thinking about and trying to handle on a daily basis, and I'm doing all of that in spite of being pregnant, but that seems to be the first thing people comment on when they see me. So it's never, how is your case that you're working on, or what's happening. It's always more about like, oh, you look like you're ready to pop, or you look like you need to put your feet up. How are you doing? How are you feeling? When are you due? Lots of questions like that.
People say I keep cruising, can't stop, won't stop moving. It's like I got this music in my mind, so it's gonna be alright.
I didn't always know that I wanted to be an engineer. When I first started looking at Belmont, I originally wanted to do the songwriting program, and I was originally enrolled in that, but then I switched because I think it was this kind of drive to like push me to be smarter and everything, especially because my brother's already so like intellectually inclined. That really like pushed me to want to pursue audio engineering.
In my mind, so it's gonna be alright. It's the players gonna play.
So growing up, I never had a female teacher in one of the science courses that I took, and there's not necessarily one ever teaching it. So that was always very interesting. And then especially when I got to the audio engineering classes at Belmont, I still have yet to have a female audio professor. So that in itself is kind of weird. And then I don't think that my teachers doubt me, and in fact, a lot of them do build me up more, I think, because I'm a female. So that's really cool, but I think also sometimes, like the first day of class, they're kind of shocked that, you know, there's even a couple girls in the class, and then I've even had a girl drop out in one of my courses too, so now I'm quite literally the only girl in my class. And so I think they're never expecting me to stick along with it, but then I think that's where they start getting more comfortable with me and like building that student-teacher relationship, because they're like, oh, she's in it for the long haul, like they're actually surprised, which is kind of nice, surprising them, but also it's kind of sad when you think about it that it's surprising that a female would be in an engineering career.
I taught in a small private school, and so I had 7th and 8th grade, a combined classroom. Had about 14 kids in my class, so we had small class sizes. These were kids who had been together since, most of them from pre-K through 8th grade, and so they were a really close-knit group of kids. I had one girl in particular stands out because she was very driven. She performed well academically in all of her subjects. She was particularly interested in science and wanted to go into engineering as a career option. She was very smart and performed well academically in all of her subjects. And so it set her apart from her peers sometimes. It was a small group, so I only had in that class 3 girls. In her class, there were 9 students, and there were 6 boys and 3 girls. And so a lot of times she was friendly with the other girls, but you could tell also that she felt like she didn't fit in with them a lot. And a lot of that had to do with how academically driven she was. Even though the other girls weren't mean to her, you could tell she didn't just fit in exactly with them, kind of the way they fit in with each other.
Currently, I'm in Audio 1 and I'm in Physics. But next semester I'll be in Audio 2 and Circuit Theory and Electronics, and just a lot more like in-depth like processing courses for my major. And there's mostly males in all of my classes. There's always one or two, maybe girls. So that's always kind of interesting. But yeah, it's kind of fun. I don't know.
It can be hard. At times you feel like you're not taken as seriously, especially I would say in things more to do with being in court. Sometimes you feel like a judge doesn't listen to you because you're a woman. People don't give you the same amount of authority when you speak. Definitely, I do think with my clients, they look at me differently than they look at a male attorney. There's just a different level of recognition, I think, for men in a field like law.
But then in more of the like social aspect of having all boys in my classes, I think that's what gives me the drive, like the competitiveness to like want to do better and like want to succeed, especially when they're not necessarily expecting me to, just because there is only like 5% of females are audio engineers in the music business. So I think that's where I get my drive and like my passion about like, you know, wanting to do really well, and like it's something that I love. And also then like the competition just like pushes it that much further.
Dancing on my own.
The advice that I would give to my younger self would be to prove everyone that ever doubted you in this career field wrong, because you are very capable of doing it, and study hard, and like if it's what you're passionate about, then you'll be able to accomplish anything. So don't let anyone hinder you from achieving your goals.
I guess what I hope, I was really excited, and again, I don't want to be political, but one of the things I was really excited about was thinking that I was likely going to have a daughter who would be born as we elected a woman president, first female president. And that was just really, I mean, without talking about Hillary Clinton in particular, I mean, I just found that to be really exciting. Like, wow, that will be the world that she's born into. And now that it's not going to be that way, I guess it's not that I would change one thing, but I hope that the world that she's born into can still hold that kind of possibility for her. I don't want to think differently about her future just because of that one thing, but I do want to think that my daughter is being born into a world where she can do anything she wants.
I make up the moves as I go. That's what they don't know.